Story time with Mr. Lumada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lumada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lumada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lumada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you for joining us. Happy Tuesday, wherever you are today. And of course, good morning to you and your loved ones, whoever is joining in with you. Thank you so much for being here on Story Time. Another great story, another day together. We're thankful for that. Thank you so much for joining in and welcome. Please, as always, let me know where you're joining us from and indeed who is joining in with you. Thank you for being here on Story Time. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're excited for today's story. Another one that we're bringing back after a long time. And this one is There's No Place I'd Rather Be. Yes, indeed. This one written and illustrated by Demetrius Scott. Yes, good morning to you, Demetrius, out of Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. And I hope you're excited for this wonderful, wonderful book that we have indeed. This one, There's No Place I Would Rather Be. Yes, this one written and illustrated by Demetrius Scott. A big thank you to him for allowing us to share this wonderful book here on Storytime. Welcome to Storytime, and I hope that you have a lovely day today. And of course, I hope that your week is indeed off to a great start. Thank you so much for joining in. Glad we're here together. Get comfortable, get cozy. We will be getting started with our story very, very shortly. Thank you for being here. And always, please remember that you can find Storytime on our archives, on YouTube, as well as Facebook. So please do find us there and enjoy those wonderful stories. And of course, wonderful conversations that we've had with amazing creators over time. Yes, in the last couple of years. So please do find those amazing conversations, amazing creators, and get to listen about their practice as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad we're here together again. Out here in Oakland today promises to be a kind of warm day, actually, even around this time. So I'm excited for that. But of course, hopefully it rains soon. It's projected to rain around middle of the month. So maybe next week we get something. Who knows? How is it where you are? How are you doing today? And remember too, like Melena said, yes, every day is a fresh start, a clean slate, a new canvas, a new song for you to sing. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad we're here. Let us see who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a wonderful story indeed. Good morning to you, Abraham, or is it Malcolm? Are we still going at Malcolm today, or is it Abraham? How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. Terry, Abraham, thank you for joining us and say happy Tuesday. Oh, thank you. I am glad you're ready. I'll try and do that a bit more. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely love it. Yes, this one indeed today. There is no place I would rather be. Written and illustrated by Demetrius Scott. It is a lot of fun looking at all the different covers and trying to do trying to imitate. Always fun taking those pictures. Thank you so much. Good morning to you and welcome, Abraham, and of course, Terry, right close by in San Leandro. Thank you so much for joining us today. Humphrey, we do not forget you. Good morning to you as well. Hopefully, your day goes well too. Thank you so much for joining in. Sarah and Nathan, bright and sunny in Illinois. How are you doing today? Hopefully, not too cold as it has been. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, nice and sunny. We'll take that. Thank you so much for joining in. Amanda West, good morning to you as well. Welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. Always a pleasure to spend time here together on Story Time. Thank you so much. One more time, Sarah and Nathan, and of course, Amanda West. Thank you so much for joining us. Kate, good morning to you out in snowy Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. And of course, we did not forget you. Theo and Garrick, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. How old are you now, Theo? Growing every day, I bet. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Absolutely love the time that we spend together. Thankful for the little things, thankful for the big things too. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Pamela Courtney. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. Chad, thank you. We'll tell Auntie Ann and Braylon that we miss them today. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're all well out in Nakitosh, Louisiana. You say chilly, but a beautiful sunny day. We will take that, won't we? Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I hope that you enjoy the story that we have for you today. It is one that we're bringing back as we continue to celebrate Black History Month here on Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. And this one is There's No Place I Would Rather Be, written and illustrated by Demetrius Scott. Know what? There's no place I would rather be, right here, right now. Thank you so much for joining in. Glad we're here together. Please get comfortable, get cozy, and we will be back on the other side of this message for our reading for today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda with Amanda Weltman Photography. I'm a photographer and printmaker based in the Pacific Northwest, and I believe that your face deserves wall space. Enjoy today's story time with my favorite storyteller, Mr. LaMotta.
Thank you, Amanda. And of course, good morning to you, baby Bia, as well. Thank you for joining us. Yes, photography needs, contact Amanda. Thank you for joining us. All right, here we go. Let us see very quickly. I see somebody coming in. Oh, yes, Rocco, Chriselle, and Clay. How are you this morning? Thank you so much for joining in. Glad you're here. Yes, indeed. Love to you as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Right on time. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, Soraya, good to see you. Sticky Spider, haven't seen you here in a long time. I'm glad you're here, and thank you for the wonderful message the other day. I got it. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you were still able to join in story time, even if not here for the lives. Thank you. Good to see you, Soraya, and of course Sharon Lungo, Chriselle, Rocco, and Clay. Good morning to you as well. All right, here we go with our story for today. There is no place I would rather be. Written and illustrated by Demetrius Scott. And he is on the East Coast out in Florida. All right, here we go. Oh, yes. This little boy was feeling quite sad. We all have one of those days at times, don't we? This little boy was feeling quite sad. But why? Why indeed? Why are you feeling sad, little boy? So he went downstairs to ask his dad, would you ever go away? Great question. So he went downstairs to ask his dad, would you ever go away? Never! His dad exclaimed. Never! But if I did, I would come back some kind of way. But if I did, I would come back some kind of way. Because I love you more than you love me, there is no place I'd rather be. Oh. But what if, yes, questions. But what if angry mutant alligators think you should not be free? So they take you to their hidden swamp and lock you up inside a tree. What if that happened, Daddy? What would you do then? If that ever were to happen, then I know just what to do. I would catch a hungry beaver who could chew the tree in two. Yay for beaver. I would catch a beaver, a hungry beaver, who could chew the tree in two. Make my escape before it gets too late make my escape before it is too late to go be free with you. Yes. Make my escape to go be free with you. Oh. What if Robert Rats think you're their king? On your command, they would do anything. A robot army of your very own, with a shiny crown and comfy throne. What would you do? Oh. In that case, I would lay my crown down on the ground, because I don't need an army of any kind. Oh. I don't need an army of any kind. I will roll on top of it back home to you and leave all that other stuff behind. Oh. Roll on home. Well, but what if we're at the beach and enchanted mermaids grab you by the hand? What would you do then? Would you leave under the sea? Then you swim away with them to explore their underwater land. Would you remember me then? Now that would be quite interesting, but I will quickly change my mind. When I see a floating fishing hook, I will quickly tag the line. A fisherman could fish me out if I hold tight to the string. Oh. Because I'd rather pretend we're in a band so we could dance and sing. Oh, yes. Well, what if you went back in time? What would you do then? And got surrounded by dinosaurs with vicious teeth and hands and horns. What would you do then? Oh my. Then I would find a cave and make a fire to keep me nice and warm. I will hide away and fall asleep. Oh, look at those teeth. Then I would find a cave and make a fire to keep me nice and warm. I will hide away and fall asleep. Until the day that you were born. Oh. Yes. What if we're outside when aliens abduct you and fly off into outer space? What would you do then? Yeah. What if we're outside when aliens abduct you and fly off into outer space? What would you do then? They will ship you to their planet while you're in a metal case. I couldn't live on another planet. That would be too far. But how would you get back? Oh. I would sneak out while they're not looking and fly back to Earth on a shooting star. Whoa. I'd sneak out while they're not looking, quietly, and fly back to Earth on a shooting star. Oh. Because I love you more than you love me, there is no place I'd rather be. I am your dad, and you should know that where you are at is where I'll go. Aww. I'll read that one more time. Because I love you more than you love me, there is no place I'd rather be. I am your dad, and you should know that where you're at is where I'll go. The end. Oh, thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I hope you enjoyed that beautiful book indeed. Wonderful message, and of course a big encouragement, a big thank you to all you adults out there who are there taking care of our little ones. And please let us keep spaces that are encouraging, keep spaces that help our little ones grow, that nourish our little ones. And of course, mental health is an important, very important thing to create space for in our lives. So let us remember to have those conversations with our little ones, try to allay their fears, but of course talk issues out that are happening around us, issues that are happening in the world, because our little ones listen, our little ones hear, our little ones also want to understand this world that is happening around them. So let us try and create those spaces, and of course, most of all, let us show love to our little ones and encourage them the best way that we can. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. There is no place I would rather be. This one written and illustrated by DEMETRIUS Scott. A beautiful book indeed, one that I love so much. Thank you so much for joining us today on Story Time. I hope you enjoyed it. I absolutely did. But please do not forget, we're back again tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m. Pacific time, as well as 11 a.m. Pacific time for the recording. And this time around, tomorrow on Wednesday, we will be bringing back another book. This one from Brian Keith Harris, and it is called I Am My History. Please do join me for this one again tomorrow and get to enjoy some more story time. A beautiful book indeed that will be coming back your way. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed that one. And of course, a big thank you indeed to all the parents out there, to all you adults out there, making those little ones' lives amazing, making them beautiful, being there for them, talking to them, listening to them most of all. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I am glad we were here together. Let us see one more time who was with us and enjoying beautiful, beautiful story time. Thank you so much for joining in. Of course, a big thank you to you, Demetrius Scott. Thank you, Betty Deshay, for joining us today. And of course, Rikia, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. I am glad you were here with us enjoying beautiful, beautiful story time. Thank you so much. Yes, oh my goodness, good to know Theo, 18 months. I absolutely love it. He definitely appreciates the stories more now. Well, thank you, and hopefully all that reading that we did together encourages you to find all those wonderful stories that we read. Thank you so much for joining in, and of course growing every time. I love it. Thank you so much for being here, Theo. Always a pleasure. And of course, Garrick, not forgetting you, buddy. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Oh my goodness. Sharon Lungo and Soraya, good to see you back on Storytime Live. I am glad you are here with us. Oh, good to know. Well, I hope your travels were good all the way out in Peru. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you're back. And also, please, I hope that you had a wonderful trip. I'm sure you had a wonderful trip. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Great to have you back. Welcome back to Oakland. Rocco, Chriselle, and Clay, good morning to you out in Long Beach, California. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope you enjoyed our book today. And please do join us tomorrow for I Am My History. Yes, this one coming to you from Brian Keith Harris and CJ Love. So please do join us for that one tomorrow. Beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Pamela Courtney and of course Chad. Yes, two-man team out in Natchitoches, Louisiana today. Of course, Auntie Ann and Braylon, thinking of you as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Natchitoches, Louisiana, nice today, beautiful and sunny. Enjoy it, and hopefully you got to watch the birds as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Amanda West, Sarah, and Nathan, absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for joining us from bright and sunny Illinois today. Thank you so much for being here. Abraham and Terry, thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Always a pleasure. I am glad that we were here together to enjoy Storytime. To everybody that joined in today, wishing you nothing but the very best, wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day indeed. I am glad we were here together. I will see you again tomorrow when we are back for more Storytime. And today we were reading There's No Place I'd Rather Be. Yes, indeed. Right here with the Storytime community feels just right. Thank you so much for joining in. Written and illustrated by Demetrius Scott. Thank you. A big reminder to all of us parents out there, all of us adults, those little amazing little ones that you have with you. Please do take care of them. Please do nurture them. And of course, they take care of us too, don't they? Thank you for being here on Storytime. And join us tomorrow when we look at some affirmations in I Am My History. Beautiful, beautiful history. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I will see you again tomorrow for more stories. Please, if you have any recommendations, do send them my way, and I promise you, I will do my very best to bring them here on Storytime. And please do look out on other stories that are coming the rest of the week. Amazing stories that we have for you lined up. So please do check them out. Check them out on our Facebook events page. And of course, check out our Instagram to keep up on what's going on. Thank you for being here. This has been Storytime for today. I am looking forward to my Tuesday. I hope that yours is beautiful as well. And if it is coming to an end, I hope that you had a beautiful one. And of course, you have a lovely evening, lovely dinner. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Much love from me. I will see you again tomorrow for more story time. Oh my goodness. Much love to you. Thank you for joining in. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. You won't soon. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be